So welcome once again to my Stormhawks Headcannon, and today I'm going to be talking about my medieval AU. This is something that Carlotta Studios in particular has wanted me to talk about, so I was like, I'll finally talk about it. So in this AU of Stormhawks, it takes place in the kingdom of Atmosia, and Arrow is the crown prince. But however, there's a problem. His sister Lark kinda wants the throne, and she pretty much knows dark magic. She had been training under Argayan, who in this is kind of like Merlin, but he had been teaching magic to several people. He had been teaching magic to he was kind of forming a school. But however, Lark kind of turned against everyone, took the name Cyclonus, and destroyed everything and killed a majority of the students. But however, while Argayan and a majority of the students were killed or joined Cyclonus, very much like Kylo Ren in Star Wars, there was one student who managed to get away and now wants to help Arrow, that being Piper. Piper was also a student and apprentice of Argayan the Wizard, and when she found out that, Cyclonus, Lark is become Cyclonus, and now she wants to, create, make her own empire, I gotta go! I gotta run! So she runs, trying to get to the king, tell him what happened, but it's a little too late because, not only did Cyclonus, kill her master, the kingdom's already been, under attack, because it turns out, before she left to go train with Argayan, she had formed an alliance with several of the king's knights, those being Ravis, Snipe, and Dark Ace. And the three of them, alongside a good amount of other soldiers, rose up and took the throne in the name of Cyclonus, and Dark Ace killed the king, and thus allowed Cyclonus to take the throne, but there was still the matter of her brother Arrow. However, Piper manages to arrive, and she and Arrow escape, alongside, of course, his pet Radar. So the three escape and are now on the run with the Dark Ace and his warriors after them. Now, in this universe, there are several other changes. Those being that in this continuity, Finn is he's very much like Robin Hood. He's very much he doesn't steal from the rich and give to the poor. He steals from the rich and gives to himself. So, he's an outlaw alongside Junko, who's pretty much like his Little John, and they go around stealing for themselves. However, after meeting Arrow and all that, they're like, hey, Hope and all that. Let's go help the crown. Let's go save the crown and all that. You also have Stork, who in this continuity, Merbs in the medieval universe, Merbians are very much like goblins. They're like goblins, but they're very timid. They're very and most people don't know about them since they're very shy and are pretty much terrified of everything. So a lot of people say, oh, just because they look different, they must be evil. So Stork is very much like, look, we're not evil! We're just fucking terrified of everything! So, Stork comes along, more because it turns out that Stork, when they have to cross through through some dangerous woods, Stork's the only one who really knows how to navigate the whole place. So that's how the team is assembled in this continuity. You also have a few other different things, like, also in this story, Finn and Susie Lou are together, but the thing is that, Finn kinda just proposed to her, and then he left her at the altar. So Susie Lou is searching for her fiancé to drag his ass back to the altar. In this story, Susie Lou and the Blizzarians are since they come from a very cold they live in a very cold, very almost Nordic place. In this continuity, they're like Vikings, and she is a Viking queen in a way. And was looking for a king and thought she found it in Finn, but Finn kind of took off and ran, in typical Finn fashion. Now, we also have the Raptors, who are like the orcs from most medieval AUs, and in here, Repton is the king of the kingdom of Bogotan, and he is, however, he's not into the idea of allying with Cyclonus, because he kind of knows, if I team with you, it's not going to be an alliance, it's going to be my people enslaved. So, his kingdom is taken over, and he is made from a king into a slave, and Repton basically becomes Conan the Barbarian. He's on the hunt to hunt down and kill everything that everything that Cyclonus has, and burn it to the ground. Yeah, it doesn't also help that his brothers kind of stabbed him in the back, both figuratively and literally, before, making a deal with Cyclonus and being like, yeah, we'll totally ally with you. Just put our brother in chains. Then you also have Starling, who is a knight that also served under the king of Atmosia, but she was trying to protect the king, didn't work, and she was the only surviving knight that was in the support of the king that managed to escape. But now she's trying to find Arrow so she can protect him and help him get back on the throne. So that's a bit about that's a bit about my medieval AU in a way. And also there were a few other things like Argaian managed to teach his students to become different creatures. So for Cyclonus, she could turn herself into a giant bat. She could turn herself into a giant bat, and Piper could turn herself into a griffin. Yeah. She had a griffin form. But yeah, I was going to give... It was actually kind of funny because I was going to give Cyclonus a dragon form, but I was like, nah, every evil sorceress in most of these fairy tale stories kind of have dragon forms. Let's go with bat. Let's go with a giant bat. That seems more up her alley. So there you go, guys. That is a bit about my Stormhawks medieval AU. Hope you all enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun to talk about. Not much else really to it. But yeah. I just figured it would be kind of fun to just come on here and chat a bit about this. So, anyway, so you guys, so I feel like I'm forgetting something. Anyway, yeah. So hope you all enjoyed this little segment of Stormhawk's Headcannon. It was another AU that I kind of came up with. And this was pretty much like the last AU I came... Well, no, there was one more set in 5 Points, New York, which I may do. But anyway, hope you all enjoyed this story, and once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.